15 minutes of more useless information about Fallout New Vegas. The Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC challenge Nay 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 Nay, which tasks the player to cripple 5 right arms with a shotgun, is a reference to a scene from the 1987 science fiction movie RoboCop, where the main antagonist Clarence Boddicker points and aims his shotgun at various parts of a captured Alex Murphy's body, while imitating a beeping Nay 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 sound before shooting off his right hand. There's an unused Securitron in the game files that would have teleported you to the Lucky 38. After defeating the Legate and General Oliver at the Legate's camp and securing victory for Mr. House, this Securitron would have appeared in front of the large gate and would have informed you that he's been sent there to escort you back to the Lucky 38.
I've been sent to take you back to the Lucky 38. Are you ready to go? Let's proceed.
This Securitron was most likely meant to appear as part of the cut post-game content. Another discovery I've made recently indicates that Mike Lawson, the head engineer at Hoover Dam, was meant to appear in the post-game world as well if the NCR won the second battle of Hoover Dam. He has a dialogue line that says,
"I love this place, but I can't take this kind of stress anymore. I'm gonna head back west to see my grandkids."
When telling Veronica that she can use melee weapons, she will reply with,
"Yes, finally! Everything is coming up, Veronica."
Referencing Milhouse Van Houten from The Simpsons, where in the episode titled Mom and Pop Art, he says,
"Everything's coming up, Milhouse."
When running errands for Eddie, the leader of the Powder Gangers, during the quest I Fought the Law, you will have to find out the NCR's plan for the prison by heading to Prim and questioning the locals. And although you can question Johnson Nash, his wife, and Deputy Beagle, none of the other residents have any voice lines about it. Well, as it turns out, you actually should have been able to also question the generic Prim residents, but for whatever reason this option was cut.
Your guess is as good as mine. Probably better.
I hope they do, but I haven't heard nothing.
We'd be the last to know.
Also, if you sided with the NCR and helped them assault the prison, according to the game files, it was once possible to fail the assault. If all the soldiers and Sergeant Lee were killed, you would have had to return to Lieutenant Hayes and inform him of the failure.
That explains why there's been no sit rep from Sergeant Lee. It took months to get authorization for that assault. It'll be a long time before we take on the Powder Gangers again.
In the Finger of Suspicion side quest given to you by Volpus and Colta, you will have to rescue Martina Grosbeck, an informant for the Legion, from a couple of Omerta thugs. If you completed the How Little We Know quest beforehand, and either helped Gacchino take over the casino or sided with Big Sal and Nero, when talking to the thugs harassing the girl, an additional dialogue option will appear.
What? Oh, shit. I heard of you. Look, we didn't mean nothing by this, just following orders. You want us gone, we're gone, no problem.
If you have Cass as a companion while traveling through Freeside, she may get hit on by one of the King's gang members. If you have the Wild Wasteland trait, she will respond to the gang member and say,
"Ain't nothing but a hound dog."
This is a reference to the song Hound Dog by Big Mama Thornton, released in 1952, and then later covered by Elvis Presley. During the quest wildcard Change in Management, after killing or disabling Mr. House and telling Yes Man that you're ready for him to join you in the Lucky 38, it was once intended that Yes Man would follow you to the Lucky 38 instead of just appearing there. He still has some unused voice lines that would have played while you were both traveling through the strip.
So, this is what the rest of the world looks like. Everything looks bigger than I imagined. I bet I'm gonna like it in that mainframe. I have a good feeling about this. It's going to be great.
Did you know that if you kill Yes Man, he will respawn after 3 days? This will happen every time you decide to fill his Securitron body with bullets, and every time he respawns, he will apologize to the player for letting him down.
Please, I swear I'll do better this time. I need you to like me. I feel empty inside. I've learned my lesson. I promise. That was my fault. But I've changed.
There's also a cut dialogue line that you would have been able to use to attack him after he would explain that he can never truly die.
I knew there was a positive in it somewhere.
When helping Scribe Ibsen deal with a computer virus in the Hidden Valley bunker, if you have a high enough repair skill, you can repair the circuit breaker on the wall on the western side of the room, which will allow you to turn off power to all but 3 terminals, making it finding the virus a lot more easier. The name and icon for the New Vegas' Samurai achievement is a reference to the Palm Pictures movie Six String Samurai. The guitar, sword, and glasses are referencing the film's main character, Buddy. Much like New Vegas, the movie was set in a post-apocalyptic Nevada and Las Vegas after a devastating nuclear war. Did you know if you drop dynamite on the ground and shoot it, it will explode?
What do you think you're doing?
This is a great way to kill NPCs without losing reputation, and their friends won't attack you. The only downside is that you won't receive any experience for the kill. After raising the B-29 Super Fortress from Lake Mead during the quest Valair for the Boomers, Mr. New Vegas will talk about sightings of something rising out of the lake that locals have dubbed the Lake Mead Monster, and how all the photos of it so far are grainy and underexposed.
Witnesses report a huge object or creature surfacing in Lake Mead. So far, photos of the so-called Lake Mead monster are grainy and underexposed.
This is a reference to the real-world myth of the Loch Ness Monster, supposedly living in the Loch Ness Lake in Scotland. Speaking of Mr. New Vegas, if you have the Wild Wasteland trait, he will have a number of special intro lines for Radio New Vegas that will only play if you have the trait.
Mojave, Mo problems. Am I right? You know, I tried to measure my charisma on a Vitomatic vigor tester once. The machine burst into flames. Stay classy, New Vegas.
While guarding the Silver Rush store run by the Van Graffs, you will be approached by the king's right-hand man, Pacer, who will disrespectfully tell you to pass along a message to Gloria. You can either accept or tell him to shove off, making him attack you. But if you helped Pacer defeat the disguised NCR soldiers near the train station during the GI Blues side quest, according to Pacer's unused voice lines, he was supposed to recognize you.
Hey, you're the one who helped us out with those NCR chumps. You really get around, don't you?
And you would have then had 3 alternative responses to him. Good to see you too, Pacer.
I'm sure it's the highlight of your day. Anyway, I've got to bounce. Things to do and all that.
Apparently I do. Something wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong at all. By all means, carry on.
Why don't you just get the hell out of here?
Who do you think you're talking to? Just because the king happens to like you, doesn't mean you can run your mouth any way you damn like.
The achievements Blast Mastery and You Run Barter Town are both references to the movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, released in 1985. Blast Mastery refers to the character Master Blaster, and Barter Town was the location around which Beyond Thunderdome was set. After rescuing the captured powder gangers at the Legion raid camp during the side quest Booted, given to you by Boxcars, did you know that you can go back to Boxcars and inform him that you freed his powder ganger friends?
You know what I'd be real excited about? If you'd showed up and saved me before they smashed my legs. Now, why don't you off and let me sleep, hero? That'll be real exciting too.
If you talk to Orion Moreno, one of the retired Enclave soldiers found living on the outskirts of New Vegas, while disguised as an NCR soldier, he will have a unique reaction and will think you're there to evict him.
Look, Trooper, I was living in this house long before your farms got set up. Don't even think about evicting me.
If you ask Corporal Sterling, a member of 1st Recon at Camp McCarran, about his gun, he will state that he calls it the Longue Carabine.
I call her Longue Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself.
This is a reference from the book Last of the Mohicans, in which Longue Carabine is one of the nicknames for both the main character, Natty Bumppo, and his rifle. In some areas like the Brockflower Cave and the New Vegas sewers, you can find rodents of unusual size. If you have the Wild Wasteland trait, these large rats are a nod to the 1987 movie The Princess Bride, and the rodents that inhabited the fire swamp. Lady Jane also mentions them.
But what about the ROUSs? Oh, I assure you, sir, they are very real and very large.
Referencing a scene in the movie where, while in the fire swamp, Buttercup asks Wesley,
What about the ROUSs?
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
The challenge, I am not left-handed, that requires you to cripple 100 enemy right arms, also references a line in the movie that Inigo Montoya says during the sword fight with the man in black.
Because I know something you don't know.
And what is that?
I am not left-handed.
If you recruit Hadrian, a ghoul stand-up comedian hanging around at the Atomic Wrangler, to perform at the Tops, and sit in one of his performances, he will roast you based on how low or high your special stats are. For instance, if you have low intelligence, he will say,
The way I hear it, you've got brains to spare. Looks to me like a 7-10 split.
If you have high strength,
Hey, look at this guy. I didn't know they let Brahmin into this joint.
If you have low perception,
I tell you got great eyes. You could spot a super mutant at 3 paces.
If you have high charisma,
I hear you got a ready wit. Tell me when it's ready.
If you have low endurance,
Whoa, you don't look too healthy. Maybe you should see a doctor. Or an undertaker.
If you have high agility,
and talk about your quick reflexes. This guy is so fast he beat me to the punchline.
And if you have low luck,
you know, some people have all the luck. Some people. Not you.
If you encounter Victor in Boulder City and tell him that you don't like being followed, he will respond with,
Now, it ain't my fault that Dorothy and the Tin Man happen to be on the same yellow-striped road, is it?
Referencing the characters Dorothy Gale and Tim Woodman from the classic children's novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. In the Old World Blues DLC, Dr. Mobius references the cast of The Wizard of Oz as well.
In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things.
Also in the DLC, an interesting graffiti can be found on the dome's wall where the think tank is located. If you have the Wild Wasteland trait, it reads, Kilroy was here, a phrase that was popularized by Allied soldiers during the Second World War. During the Battle of Hoover Dam, if you sided with the Caesar's Legion and entered Intake Tower 1, you will have an option to unlock the maintenance hatch, which will allow a Legion Centurion to appear.
Ah, the outsider who gained our master's favor. You prove yourself as cunning as the rumors report.
You will then be able to ask him about the battle happening inside the dam.
The fighting in the power plant is the fiercest as expected, but the dogs have been caught off guard, and their positions can expect no support. However, the pipes below have been sealed, cutting off our men until the dam top can be secured. I've been diverting half of my men to the tower next to this one. It's a bit of a swim, but the enemy hasn't sealed those pipes yet. Some of the other Centuriae are more stubborn in following their orders exactly, though, and wait in the pipes below.
Asking him to report on his standing orders will allow you to order him to either commit all of his men to the fight for the dam's power plant below.
Agreed. If we take the power plant, this battle is over. I'll have my men focus their efforts there. May the Son of Mars go with you.
Or to help you secure the dam's top.
Your words have merit. Very well. I shall tell my men to concentrate their efforts here. More than a few if I have my way. Move it, you curs! I will personally gut the first man to slow down. There's still more killing to be done. Leave none alive! Keep moving!
This will ensure a constant stream of legionaries storming the NCR fortifications until all of the rangers and soldiers are dead. In the South Vegas ruins, a small building called Zap's Neon Signs can be found. Inside it, on a terminal at the bottom of the building, in the shipping invoice 0812, there is a neon sign order from Scott Everett, the lead world designer of Fallout New Vegas. He also has his own unique evil gnome in the game, internally named Scott E. Gnome, found in the Fireroot Cavern. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos for even more New Vegas content. And thanks for watching.